Welcome to Simply Happy Conversations, a podcast that teaches you how to create a clutter-free, functional and simply happy life. I'm Narelle King, a professional organiser who supports families with practical steps to simplify their lives and create a more organised home. I'm passionate about supporting neurodivergent families and individuals like myself. Have you bought storage solutions to organise your pantry, pulled everything out and felt so overwhelmed and paralysed with the next steps to take that you just put it all back? Or maybe you have a cupboard overflowing with art and craft supplies, unfinished projects. You started to organise the cupboard but found yourself distracted by unfinished crocheted project rather than finishing the organisation of the cupboard. Or maybe you just don't have the time or energy to organise cupboards and spaces in your home. If you relate to one of these, this episode is for you. I'm going to be sharing why working with a professional organiser can help you achieve a more organised, efficient, functional and simply happy home. Thanks for joining me for today's solo episode about the power of professional organising. A professional organiser can help you reclaim your space, create a more functional home and achieve a sense of calm and also clarity. I'm going to share with you 6 reasons why a professional organiser can provide valuable assistance to you, and also look at what's included and what's not included and what the onboarding process looks like for a client. Number 1 reason for having a professional organiser is they're going to actually personalize the solutions for you. When you actually have a professional organizer come into your home, they're going to take the time to understand the challenges that you've got and also your needs and create that customized, organized system that's going to meet your unique needs. A professional organizer is also going to take into account like sensory sensitivities. So they might recommend solutions that are like soft containers, or maybe it's around the environment and your values around using sustainable items. So it might be using glass containers in your pantry. And just giving you an example from last week, client that I worked, and they wanted all of their lunch items that they prepare themselves down in that prime real estate. So I was able to allocate all the things that they like to have at lunchtime in that section, whereas they have night meals prepared for them. So they don't need those items down low. They could be higher. Their support workers can actually get those items out. So we allocated just the lunch items to that prime real estate between your hips and your shoulder height. Number 2 for actually having a professional organizer coming into your home is because they're going to help you maximize space. They're going to look at your storage solutions and also the decluttering, which is a big part of it. And they're going to help you to make the most of your available space. That client that I was talking about with their pantry, they also had a really big section at the top. And so we've actually put in another shelf to give them extra storage up high, which they don't need access to all the time. But there's things like there were decorations for cupcakes and candles and party needs. So they have been put up into that top shelf, which they'd have to get a chair or get somebody to help get that down. But they don't need that all the time. Another example is I've moved appliances that are not being used very often to a cupboard further away, maybe even in a laundry. There's more space for the things they do use on a regular basis. Another thing is looking at shelves that they can go over, say, some platters, so you've got 2 tiers. Number 3 reason for having a professional organizer is time management and improved productivity. An organized space can help you to increase your productivity and efficiency. You can find things more easily, which means that you're not wasting time, and you might also be able to focus better on the tasks that you need to do without all the clutter around you. It also saves you time because you're streamlining when to put things away, where to put things away, and also allowing you to do the things that are most important rather than wasting time looking for things that you can't find. One thing I really like to do to improve productivity and time management is moving your dishes so they're closer to the dishwasher. So it's less steps. Maybe there's no steps at all, and you can actually then unload a dishwasher straight into the drawers with the dishes. I've also moved coffee machines so that everything is within reach. I also really like to add rubbish bins or washing baskets into, say, bedrooms or spaces where there's piles of clothes or there's piles of rubbish. This is going to help to solve those predictable problems. Number 4 is expertise and experience. I have tackled a lot of challenging clutter and disorganization issues and found really efficient ways to do things. So with my knowledge and experience of working with so many different clients, I'm able to offer strategies and also help with long-term planning to prevent the clutter from accumulating again. I really like to focus on the process that we're putting in place and also reviewing this quite regularly to see what is it that we need to change about it. Number 5 is accountability and support. Lots of people really struggle with getting started or knowing where to start as well. By having a professional organizer, they're going to help you with an organizing process and it also ensure that you stay on track, because when we're moving things around, we can get really distracted quite easily. And so we want someone there who's going to help us to achieve our goals. You may find it really emotional and also struggle with the executive functioning or the decision making. A professional organizer can help break the task down into smaller parts and make it more manageable, also making it easier for you to stay focused and motivated. And I really love body doubling, which is when there's 2 of you there doing it, and just by having someone there, you are more motivated and it's the accountability that gets you started and you can stay on task and try and finish it together. Number 6, our final one, is a sustainable practice. Most professional organizers are going to incorporate sustainable practices such as recycling, donating, repurposing items, and they'll be able to find places to donate just about anything. Animal shelters, schools I've used for books and instruments and craft, baby and kid donations, recycled textiles. So by connecting with a professional organizer, they're going to know some of the best places rather than it having to go into landfill or just taking everything to the op shop. So professional organisers can provide assistance with decluttering and organising to make your home safe and more functional. And then you can get really niche down into different parts. So you need to check with your professional organiser as to what they also like to do. So I really enjoy packing and moving and then unpacking at the other end. I also really enjoy rearranging furniture to cater for a disability or a sensory need. I also really enjoy administration tasks and setting up streamlined processes and any admin. I also really enjoy downsizing and simplifying life for my clients. So I can help them with setting up routines and rituals, especially to assist children. Having an education background, I really do enjoy working with kids and helping them streamline and also look at their own mindset around letting things go. I really enjoy also creating calm and relaxing spaces for sensory needs. I understand sensory needs, in particular for neurodivergent clients, so I really can help and assist them with setting that up. A lot of the systems I'll help families to implement will also be assisting their child to become more independent. It could be around meal planning and food preparation, or maybe it's around study and schoolwork or putting toys away and cleaning their room. I also really like to look at decluttering paperwork and digital administration and setting up a streamlined system. This is generally the last thing I will do if we're doing the whole house, because it is very overwhelming. There isn't a lot that you can see, so it's nice to have that feeling when you can see a room that's been organised and then work down from there till we get to the paperwork. A professional organiser is going to support you to achieve your vision and goals for a space. It could be a pantry, laundry, bedroom, wardrobe, kitchen, toy room, shed, sewing room, any space in your home. They can also help you identify hot spots in your home, where the clutter is forming, and looking at what it is that we need to maybe change to make this room and this area more functional. A professional organiser sees such a variety of situations and understands the complexity of decluttering and organising. So they're going to provide you with non-judgmental guidance and support. I think that's one of the most important things that you're going to get by working with a professional organiser compared to, say, getting your mum over or a friend over, because they understand the complexity of organising and the emotional attachments to your items. One thing that I think professional organisers do really well is that they know the best storage solutions. They know the ones that don't work. They know the ones that are also expensive and break really easily. They're going to be able to provide you with advice on the best solution for your space. And for some of the clients that I work with, they absolutely love the fact that I'm going to remove all the donations from their home and find the designated donation place for each of those things. They're not going to be left in their car for the next few months driving around with them instead of being dropped off. For my onboarding process, if someone wants to work with me, I actually share an inquiry form, and this might be because they've contacted via phone call, maybe it's an email, maybe it's a message, and I will share that link, and so that they can then fill in the information and I can then give them a call to discuss their needs and how I work, and also share the service agreement details and organise an initial planning session. And then at an initial planning session, which is in person at the person's home, unless it's a virtual, I'm going to explain how I work. We're going to look at the hotspots in their home. So I love when I go to someone's home and they have not cleaned up, because I can then see where the areas are that they need help with. Whereas if they've cleaned up, it's like there's no evidence. I feel like a little bit of a detective when I go into people's homes when there's still the clutter left out, so I can see and work out maybe what the problem is, and also ask lots of questions to work out what the challenges are. It's also an opportunity to discuss the vision and the goals that you want for that space or that room, or maybe it's the whole house. And then it's creating a plan that we can implement at their pace. And so I may need to take some photographs and measurements depending on what it is that they require within the home. So after our initial planning session, I will email them the documentation with the next steps, actions, recommended products, if they'd like that. Some people find that overwhelming. I still have it for myself so that I know what we're doing moving forward. So hiring a professional organiser can be a worthwhile investment in creating a more organised, functional home, while also providing understanding, support and encouragement throughout the process. If you'd like support virtually or in person, please email me, narelle@simplyhappy.com.au, or direct message me through Instagram or one of the other social media channels, or call. Thanks for listening to Simply Happy Conversations. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Simply Happy Conversation. If you enjoyed this episode, then I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a review. This helps others find it who are also looking for tips and organisational strategies to simplify their life and prioritise their health. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe so that you won't miss future episodes. You can also connect with me over at simplyhappy.com.au. I'd like to acknowledge the Wathaurong people of the Kulin Nation on which this podcast is recorded as the traditional custodians of the land. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging.